You're listening to the Retro Mo Podcast. I'm your host, Mo, and I love to play and review old video games and a few new games too. If you prefer to read instead of listen, check out my written reviews at retromo.substack.com. In this episode, I'll be sharing my experience with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror for the Game Boy Advance, released in 2004. I've scored this game 8.5 out of 10. A great game. A unique Metroidvania-like that pays homage to Kirby Superstar. Wow. I love this game. I don't know how I missed it growing up. This was the Kirby game I was waiting for after Kirby 64 derailed me from the franchise. You can tell they were clearly trying to go back to what works. They have successfully managed to capture the feel of Kirby Superstar. It's not quite as smooth as Superstar was. I mean, is anything? But it's very close. After championing Super Smash Bros. For the N64 and Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube, Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Kirby, blessed us with a few more Kirby gifts before leaving HAL. He gave us the odd but lovable Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube. He helmed the GBA remake of Kirby's Adventure, called Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, and he served as special advisor for Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Since the Game Boy Advance tech from Sakurai's recent remake was already available, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror was poised for success from the start. Using Sakurai's boilerplate, HAL, and Flagship, a subsidiary of Capcom, and a studio called Dimps, worked together to give us a unique and well-crafted Kirby game. Kirby must navigate through a maze of interconnected worlds full of hidden doors and secrets. It's fully non-linear, filled with puzzles, mini-bosses, respawning enemies, like Big Waddle Dee, and items to collect. There's some debate about whether or not this label is accurate, but some refer to the Amazing Mirror as the Metroidvania Kirby. Unfortunately, they reduced the movesets of some of the classic copy abilities, but they did improve a few others and added some great new abilities, like Missile, UFO, and Smash. You can fight Master Hand and get a simplified version of Kirby's moveset from Smash Bros. It's unclear just how much Sakurai was involved in this game, but I have to imagine he contributed to the Smash copy ability. I love how enemies literally fly across the screen and explode when you attack them with certain abilities. The gameplay just feels very kinetic. The visuals are fantastic for a Game Boy Advance title. A few of the worlds have absolutely gorgeous pixel art backgrounds. This is a Kirby game, so it's definitely no Dark Souls, but it was nice to play a Kirby title with at least a little bit more challenge than usual. The Game Boy Advance has never been known for its audio quality, but the Amazing Mirror soundtrack has some really good tunes from two Dimps composers who would later go on to make contributions to Smash Bros. Ultimate. Their names are Hironobu Inagaki and Atsuyoshi Isamura. Sometimes, I'll just listen to the track from Candy Constellation on repeat. It's great. The 4-player co-op is a huge plus, though getting 4 GBAs, 4 copies of the game, and 4 link cables together in one place just might be the greatest challenge ever offered by any Kirby game. They did bring the Amazing Mirror to the NSO collection on the Switch, but I haven't tested out the multiplayer yet. One complaint, which is true of almost any Kirby game, is that this game is just too short. It just ends too soon. If you know where you're going, you can beat the game in just an hour or two. But if you get completely lost like me, it takes about 5 hours. Maybe longer. However long it takes you to figure out this maze-like world. In spite of the short length, this is a fantastic Kirby game, and I highly recommend it. Thanks for listening to the Retro Mo Podcast. As always, I do my best to keep all of my content spoiler-free and rated E for everyone. If you find this podcast enjoyable or helpful, tell a friend and consider giving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. If you have questions or comments, you can send an email to retromopodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Godspeed.